I think surrounding yourself with a network is the biggest thing. Know who you can talk to for encouragement, and understand why they might give you advice.
How were you finding, you mentioned you had done a couple of smaller deals after that, before 2015, and you were building your portfolio, you were doing some flips and things like that. Are you still making Zillow calls at this point, or did you find other methods of marketing or networking or things like that?
Yeah, I would definitely, if I had time, I would be on Zillow probably today, because it's just such a direct contact. But now the deals just come to me. It's, mostly wholesalers. We're getting 3 to 5 a week. Mm-hmm. And sometimes we'll get portfolios. But yeah, it's just been amazing now with the network that we've built. The wholesalers know she's going to perform. Right. As long as it's under the 70% loan to value. I'm not greedy. I don't care what people are making. The wholesaler could make $100,000, So I just feel like because we're always trying to create a win-win, I think that's why they come to us, because they know we're solid. As far as deals, when we say we're going to close, we do it. Sometimes we have hiccups, with title, with lender, whatever it is, but we always go through.
What was the mindset change that you had to make when you went from just buying one asset at a time or two assets at a time to buying 15 or 10 or something like that? What made you believe that you can do that, or that you were worthy of doing that? Because I think a lot of people kind of struggle with like I'm good at a single family house, but I'm a little unsteady. And other people just don't care. And other people are like, I'll buy 30 right now if you put it in front of me. What do you think it was for you that allowed you to level up your mindset when you jumped to portfolios?
I think, that's a great question. Probably multiple things. I think surrounding yourself with a network is the biggest thing. Know who you can talk to for encouragement, and understand why they might give you advice. If they're fearful of you growing too fast, that's a huge thing. So I really think it was the encouragement. I mean, really, I didn't believe I could do it. It all happened just by me calling a sign that said 100% financing. And that contact was like, I know someone doing seller financing on a portfolio. And I was just like, really? Can you connect me? And he did. And I got a list of 50 properties on Excel spreadsheet, and I picked 10.
That's incredible. That's awesome. What did that seller finance deal look like? Because you said that's kind of when you learned about that. Mm-hmm. You're like, wait, I can make my own terms? Yeah. As long as it's a win-win, we can make our own terms. What terms were you able to lock down as much as you care to share, or generally speaking, kind of how did you work out that deal?
Yeah. I wish I could say I gave more to it, but it was really like, wow, you'll do seller financing? Okay, what does it look like?
Right. What does that mean?
And then they told me what it looked like for them. So 6% interest-only payments for 5 years. And I was like, okay. And they said, if you sell any or refinance, you can have 10 more. And I was like, what? That's a thing? So there was no credit check. There was no, checking my bank account. There was no background check.
Wow.
It was really amazing.
Why were they selling?
He was an older landlord. He was maybe early 50s, mm-hmm. Not even, old. He had retired engineer. So he had retired and jumped into buying rentals, built up the portfolio, and he had been building for 30 years. So he was like, I'm getting tired of the tenants. He'd pick up cash from people. He was, out there hustling. Mm-hmm. And so he's like, I'm just getting tired. And then he realized, well, I know the value of my properties. They're all pretty much north side Richmond. Mm-hmm. So that's he, awesome. I picked up Haynes and Barton. These are streets where they're going for $500,000. Yep. Well, back then we were picking up for 90, 100 through seller financing at 6%. So how many of those do you need to be financially free? So that's what we did. We bought 10, and then we bought 10 more from him.